Session. Really happy to be a part of this FTP. Hope you all can see me. You all
Yes,
can
ma'am.
hear me.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay. Let me start with the presentation. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Just make it full screen.
Yeah. Doing. Can you see it now?
Uh, I'm unable to see the entire screen.
Can see my PPT?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now can you see it?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
It is
Okay.
fine now, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I am going to speak on the digital tools for higher education teachers. Especially this session is all about the tools and the apps which could be helpful for each and everyone in various disciplines. I would like to thank the organizers as well as the Department of English, National International Institute of Research and Studies, Cape Comorin Trust India, Grand Academic Portal India, Lavender Literary Club, as well as the participants. Let me move on to the objective of the session. The learning objectives you should all be taught with the digital platforms which are all available and the utilization of the apps for the content development as well as the sharing and the methodologies which are available for the content sharing and the usage, and above all there are a lot of provisions which are available right now for the members to monetize whatever the contents they are generating. That is also I am going to ponder on. So the overall view of my session relies on view voice to text conversion apps, Grammarly usage, screencast apps, and then content creation using VideoPad, which is very important for any one of the teachers nowadays, and then QR code generator, and then YouTube uploading and creating a channel. So the first one is voice to text. Actually, it's in the form of especially how in an email, how you can change the voice to the text. Generally, we are feeling difficult to type. We provided if you don't know the typography, then it's very difficult for you. If it is a research paper, probably we'll be writing for 3,000 to 5,000 words, which will be really very hard and tough for us to continue with that. In that case, this voice to text provisions are really helpful, and hats off to Google for these all provisions being enabled. And first of all, if you want to have this voice to text provision in email writing, generally we type very minimum small emails, but at times if we have to type voluminous one, then this provision will be highly helpful to you. You are having three dots. Can you see these all three dots? The vertical ellipsis icon. When you click this icon, you will have these all pop-down menu, out of which you will have more tools. And in that, when you click this more tools, you will be given the extension. And you click the extension, you will be automatically directed to the Chrome Web Store. And in that web store, when you type email dictation, you will be directed to voice to text notes app, which you can make use of. And when you just make use of this app, when you install this app, automatically you will be finding this app at the right hand corner of your email, that too as an add-on tool. So this will be of maximum usage. Now this voice tool is also enabled. Now these are all the apps which I have personally tried and I am representing to you all. So nothing is a new one. You all know that probably. Sometimes you may be knowing email, but you may not be aware of these all provisions available. That's why I'm exploring these all. So after using that particular voice icon, click that icon. You will be given the provision of typing down whatever you are spelling. So This is which I have done earlier for you all people. This is just an example. So this is what for the email typing through with the usage of email dictation tool, which is already existing and which could be installed as an add-on application. Now the second voice to text application which you can find out is the web speech API demonstration. This is another app which is available online. Simply type web speech API demonstration. When you type this, automatically it will be directed to this home page. In this home page, at the right hand corner, you are able to see this a microphone icon. Once you click that icon, automatically whatever you type, that is, if the microphone is enabled, whatever you speak, automatically it will be given in a text format. You can simply copy and paste, and you can even send it across to your mail ID in this way. This is the second provision available for voice to text conversion. Now, the third important and the most significant one is the docs. Hope you all must be aware of the Google Docs, but there is a vast difference between Microsoft Word and Google Docs. Google Docs, you can just have it with you at any time. You can save it and you can open it at any time, at your convenience, and it's very comfortable one. So in this Google Docs, hope you all can hear me, Shubhra ma'am. Shubhra ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Shall I continue? There is no problem, right? Yeah, thank you. So, once after you log into the Google Docs, you can make use of the tools menu in the menu bar. In this tools menu, you are having this concept called voice typing. Most of us are unaware of this provision enabled in Google application, because this application is pretty easier for us. This helps us a lot in getting our voice into text. So once after this is done, you are getting a microphone like symbol. Once the microphone is enabled, that's more than enough for you. This is especially highly helpful for you, because I personally made use of this one for preparing a manual which was around 70 to 80 pages, more than some 7,000 words. So in this case, this is really helpful to you. Whatever you speak, it will be automatically converted to text without any mistakes, provided you speak, because there are a lot of provisions available over there. Whether you need it is for Indian English or American English or English, British English, whatever the English you are opting for. Though depending upon the slang, depending upon the language style, this changes, and it is absolutely giving the expected outcome. So it's really a wonderful tool which you can make use of for your research purpose, and it saves your time much more than the expected time. Instead of, as the previous presenters, doctor stated, instead of copying and pasting, if you are making use of these all tools, and if you are manipulating the sentences in your own words, and if you are giving the content in an enriched form, these tools will be highly fruitful for you. And especially for content development, this is highly of use. The next one is Grammarly. Grammarly, this is not only for the English people, that is English major people, it's for each and everyone across the world. This is the best product which we can ever find out from Microsoft. See, Grammarly is one such tool which helps us in a lot of ways. And the simple procedure is, you have to download Grammarly. You have to save it as an extension, which I have made use of, and there are multiple options, whether it is for Microsoft Office Word, Microsoft Office Outlook. That depends upon the choice which we make even in the initial stage. So I have this is what the extension which is available. Once after I just download it and I am getting it started. So I have installed Grammarly. So the next procedure is, once after the Grammarly is installed, you can find this Grammarly in the menu bar, and you can make use of this Grammarly for the furtherance, for correction, everything. First of all, once installed, you will be directed to continue with either the Google account or else the Facebook account. My preference is for the Google account. Okay. Now, the best usage of Grammarly, it represents what your mistakes are while typing. Probably in the previous years, we will just generate the document as the hard copy and we will go for word by word correction. But this Grammarly makes our work pretty easier. We people make a lot of errors, especially with subject verb agreement as well as with article or preposition usage. This Grammarly helps us in such a way that each and every mistake of us could be eliminated in the most simplest way. What we have to do is we have to simply identify, it will represent what our error is, and we have to click that error, and if you want to ignore it, we can ignore, and if you are feeling that the error is there, then you can simply eliminate that error by clicking it. And even the typing mistake, the spelling error, grammatical error, as far as the thesis writing or paper writing is concerned, you after a period you have to leave double space or a single space, or after a comma you have to leave a single space. These all things are meticulously taken care of by Grammarly, and it will represent that this is the mistake. It won't directly correct the paper. It will ask us to do that correction, and it will tell us how the paper is done. How many mistakes are there? There are some premium versions available. Premium versions are for money, but that is not needed. Only the general version is more than enough, which is free of cost. And it is highly useful for members, not only for the English major, but for each and every discipline. The next one is the creation of blogs for posting your content. See, whatever the discipline you belong to, whether it belong to English discipline or mechanical discipline, whatever the discipline it may be, each and every person across the world expects some sort of inputs from each and every person in this world. So it is just a knowledge sharing. So you are creating a content. Now how you are going to generate the content? I have told you how to generate the content with the in terms of sentences using voice to text, and how to verify the effectiveness by using Grammarly software. Now the third one is how to post it in the blogs. How to create your own blogs, that matters a lot. When you are creating your own blog, you can post the content on by yourself. So once the content is posted, automatically it will be visible to the whole world. So first of all, this Wix is a platform which is highly helpful for development of your own personal blogs. This is also one such thing which I have explored by myself. So this is which I have tried. Once after opting for Wix blogs, when you opt for Start Now, automatically you will be directed to this website, and then you can simply rename your site. Once the site is renamed, you can opt for the next level. Whether you are, see here, you can see it's whether it is for business, whether it is for online store, whether it is for photography. So depending upon the need of the hour, it generates your website. It generates your blog or the website. Now, here it gives you the permission whether it has to create for you or you yourself want to act as an editor. So I have chosen this permission, which is much more simpler. And then what we have to do next in the Wix platform is whatever I want to create, I have to represent. See, previously I was organizing a conference. For that conference, I was preparing this one. I was generating this one. And what was the event name, the location, the date and time, and then any link which I would like to give, and then the next. Then I could pick up any theme whichever I like, followed by the resource persons, who the speaker is, and what the title is, what the name is, and each and everything will be given specific, and here the design is available. You can offer 2 to 3 more designs, provided you are not acting as an editor, and it is giving you multiple options. And you can simply type the speakers' names, the details related to the speakers, and their contact information. That's more than enough. And then you will be given the provision of having your own website or blog ID. Blog is nothing but a part of the website. So do not have to panic. Website is a wide umbrella, whereas blog is a part of it. That's the difference. Now, under this, you will be given the status that your ID is, that is your blog is generated. Now, this is what the blog which I have generated for myself. Could you see this? Yes, this is what the blog. Now, whenever I want to start a new conference or a program, I could simply generate this blog and I could post it in the website. Whomever comes across, they will just simply click it and they will verify whatever the details available in this blog. Just like this, if you are a content developer, If you are developing a content on, say, for example, as far as English is concerned, if I say, prepare a content on report writing, how to develop a report. So if I just simply post it in the blog, the blog will, whenever a person Googles report writing, automatically whatever I have written in the blog will be taken to that person's what is a search screen. So the search engine will bring whatever you type into the search screen. So this is one such platform for us to get the knowledge being shared. The next one is Screenocast, which is highly helpful for you to record your screen. So this is a 15-minute video creation screen. That is a screen content video, and this is just for 15 minutes. Remember, for any listening task, if you are listening for more than 15 minutes or 20 minutes, it will be a bit boring. That's why we are having bookend method. Bookend method in the sense 15 minutes listening, 5 minutes another activity, 15 minutes listening, 5 minutes another activity. That is what bookend method. And this is one such Screenocast app which helps you to have the listening for 15 minutes. So this is what the Screenocast-matic. You can simply make use of this Screenocast-matic to record your screen. And it records in such a way that each and every of your audio as well as the recording of your screen is done. So you have to record, you have to launch it. Once after launch it, this is what the methodology of getting the screen being recorded. So this is an example, and here the recording time is also represented. Could you see that? Okay. So this is what the level or the radius in which the screen is recorded. And then the recorded screen could be stored in your file, and this is the frame in which your recording is done, as I have told, and you can even save it or upload it, and then that could be even added as a hyperlink in your PPT. The next important one is the video pad or the video editor. See, most of us definitely we are posting our video or the e-content in YouTube. We are aware of that because of this pandemic situation. But how many of us are posting it with the proper procedure? That's the question. So this helps us to identify the right procedure of posting our video. I will showcase you how a poor video is enabled and how a good video is enabled. So this is one such thing. It helps in creating video. It needs the prepared audio content. So once a video is to be created, how you are creating the video with the audio matters a lot. So if the video is there, but if the audio quality is poor, nothing could be done. So the video, the audio script, and here the video editor helps you to have the audio script in a very proper procedure. Now, it involves step-by-step procedure, and it helps you to directly upload in YouTube. I'm going to tell you how it is to be done. So this is what the software, VideoPad Video Editor, which could be downloaded, and this is a trial version for 14 days. After 14 days, you have to uninstall it, and after that, you have to reinstall. This is a very simple procedure, but this is highly helpful for you to upload your video in a very proper procedure. So once after you have launched it with a .exe file, this will be the first window to get displayed. So in this video pad, you are going to start with a new project, right? If it is an already project you are going to edit it, then you can opt for open project. Nevertheless, you can opt for new project. So these are all the basic components which are available in this YouTube video editor. You can add buttons, you can add files using this add video or image files, and then tutorial is also available, and then effects, what are the effects you give, and then the switching between the tabs, and then once you click this click to get started, automatically you will be directed to this video pad, and then the timeline helps you to identify where the cursor is, and then the split buttons to separate the tracks. You can drag or drop the clips in this timeline. Now, I am just taking out the video file which I want to edit. Now, before this, you have to videotape the files. Once after the files are videotaped, you are going to synchronize the videotaped material with the content developed. So I'm adding the file. Now the file is added. Can you all see this? This file is added. Now, once the file is added, you have to simply click this button and then click and drag it to the time frame. Once that is done, once you click this button, once you click this video and then drop it over here, automatically the video as well as the audio which you at the time of recording will get displayed. Okay. Now once this is done, your video is ready. You are going to cut it or not, that is up to you, because the cutter is also, the splitter is also available. Now the next one is, while recording the video, this audio which is unclear, that will also be there. So you have to unlink the audio from that video. The second procedure is, I told you, you have to prepare a ready-made script. This is what the news channels often do. Of course, you may feel it to be a bit tedious, but it's very useful for you, because the audio as well as the video which you are making use of will be of use to you further without any without any compromise in the quality. And this one, text to speech synthesis, once the recorded content is available, that is once the typed content is available, simply fix it over here. And here Microsoft David Desktop, here you are having preview voice sample Microsoft David Desktop. Just like this, another voice is also there. This is a male voice and another female voice is also available. So once you paste the content, okay, automatically when you preview the voice sample, it will read out. That reading by the native speaker with a native accent will be highly, it will be giving a phenomenal look to your own video. So that audio is generated, that audio is stored here. That stored audio, this is text to speech. This is what the text to speech, and this is the text to speech wave format, and that you have to click and drag over here. You have to click and drag over here. Now, this one has to be synchronized with this one. Now, this is also done with the help of the timeline. This is a very easy process. And then you can export this video file. Once the video file is exported, automatically it could be saved, right? And it is now ready for YouTube uploading. Got it? It's totally ready for YouTube uploading. Now, how you can upload your YouTube content with the YouTube, that is in your YouTube channel. First of all, you need a YouTube channel for yourself for uploading your own content. Simply uploading content in Wikipedia or general sites, that is not going to help you. You have to personalize your own content, because Sir must have told about the plagiarism. If you are simply leaving the content of yours to for common use without any copyright or without your own channel, there is a possibility for your materials to be misused. So this is one such opportunity for you to make use of. One is the blogs, one is creating a website, another one is the creating of YouTube channel for yourself. So you are going to make use of your own YouTube account, and you can even be very careful, because if you are simply copying others' materials and putting it in your own channel, that will lead to plagiarism like content, and it will lead to copyright issue. And then you will be given the payment for subscription if possible. Now these are all the payment methods. Now 1,000 subscribers are there, means if you are having 1,000 subscribers in your channel, if your channel is of that much quality, then automatically YouTube will provide you the monetization. So these are all the social network platforms which are available for posting your own content. But the best platform is the YouTube. Now, any kind of these all could be given. And not only these all, even say for example, mechanical engineering, a student from mechanical engineering needs a basic thing. Any professor from mechanical engineering stream could give a video for that presentation about the topic just for 1 or 2 minutes, with these all things being done. If that is done, automatically it could be used in such a way that anyone can view that content for 2 minutes and you are getting a viewer. That's it. But you are sharing your knowledge. That is another thing. Now, you are going to create your YouTube channel. I will come to this afterwards. Yeah, how to create your own YouTube channel? First of all, you have to select your, that is the icon. Could you see this icon? And then go to YouTube. There, create a channel. That provision is available. once that provision is available, you have to create the channel. That's very easy, and you can simply start it. You can select it, choose how to create your own channel, your own name or your customer name, and then you have to give the details about your YouTube and the link. Everything is done. Now I got my channel ready. Now in this channel, you can either directly upload your video, or else you, as I stated, you can select, you upload a video to get started. So you can upload video by selecting the files which you have already done. Now once after these are all done, you can, if you are having a lot of subscribers, automatically they will come for monetization. This is what the monetization procedure available by the side, and you have to opt for, and you have to agree with the terms and conditions which they are opting for, and then you will be given the provision of getting the monetization done, and you will be given the provision of getting your ads in your own YouTube channels. Hope you must have seen in all the YouTube videos, whenever you are opting for ads getting displayed for 5 seconds, then you can skip the ad. Some ads will be played even for 30 seconds. That all depends upon the monetization only. You all must have an idea how your content could be used by others. If you are simply posting it and in any of the websites, automatically that content could be used by anyone, unless it is not having any copyright. These are all the basic things. Now the next one is QR code generator. So you must have been aware of QR code generator. Now why this QR code is needed? Because you are giving a manual to your student. Right now everything is on the basis of the usage of technology. So if the QR code is used automatically, we can make use of our own works done in a very easy way. Now I have embedded text over here. This is the QR code generator. This app is available online. Now I have incorporated a text. I can get a static QR code, and then I can download the code and I can send it across to my own students. Once the students just go through, once the students simply scan it, means they can simply access this text. Now just like this, if I want to have my contact with this QR code, I could have. In this modern world, everything is digitalized. So this is also a platform. And you must have seen these all in so many ticket booking provisions. And the next one is the URL, even mobile phone, and then the URL. This is very important for all the teachers. Now, even if you are having your own content being posted in YouTube or in your blog, even if it is your blog, then you can generate a QR code for your own blog. Is that clear? So that QR code could be shared with your students. They can simply scan it and they can use it. And even in this QR code, you are having screen castify option. This option helps you to have the screen recorder. As we have seen in Screenocast, this screen castify is another provision which is acting as an add-on extension. And then I'm having it as an extension and I'm signing it with Google. Now, this is an example of how I recorded with the Screenocast. And I could download it, I could edit it, and I could publish it. This is another recording system which I can make use of for recording. Now I could share my entire screen in this one, and I could record my screen. Yeah. These are all some provisions which you could see. Wait a minute. Can you see my screen now?
No, ma'am.
Okay, just a second. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, I would like to tell you about the Google Translate, another provision which is available. Whatever we know is, if I simply type over here, I could get an option for here. I could get the translation over here, but it's not over here. Now, if I make use of it, if I want to generate if I want to translate a document of myself into another language, when you make use of this document provision, browse your computer, and if it is a letter, just a second. Now I am having the language as Russian, right? So this document has to be translated into into my native language. Now I am translating. Now the translated content could be or could come to you directly. You don't have to worry about it. This is very important for each and every one of us, and you won't believe the amazing impact which it creates. See, it is totally converted into Tamil language. Just like this, you can convert the content for your abstract, or sometimes we may need to convert the abstract into native language for submitting the PhD thesis, right? So this is one such thing which could help you in the most productive form. Could you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the next one, I would like to tell what final thing. This is an example of a poor quality of a YouTube video. Could you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
See, the voice is okay, but the video content is very bad, isn't it? Now, look at the video pad which I have made use of for creating our own college aid.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm afraid, but we are running short of time also.
Yeah,
So
only
I-
one second.
Yeah.
This was created by me.
MEPCO-SLINK Engineering College. The Department of English propelled its mission in 1984 since the inception of MEPCO-SLINK Engineering College, Sivakasi. The
Okay.
department has 3 doctoral degree holders, 4 faculty.
Now, this was created by me, especially when we were in need of to post about our own department in YouTube. And we were able to do it with this software, and it was really creating an amazing impact within a few minutes of time. So with this, let me conclude my session. I was a bit fast, I know that pretty well, but still I was running out of time. Anyhow, I thought I think I have covered to the maximum. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That was awesome. Like always, you have really told us about many different things which will be useful for the researchers and academicians. You talked about text-to-speech, Grammarly, and how to create one's own blog, because everyone these days is into blogs, and about the screencast, video recorders, and of course YouTube channel is a rage these days. All, but how to create a high quality video, that is more important. Of course the QR code app, this is something you have added to my knowledge, how to use it, and the Google Translate. Thank you very much. Now I would request the participants, if they have any queries or any questions, they can ask Dr. C. Ganga Lakshmi. And I can see in the chat box that most of the people are demanding that your PPT should be shared in the WhatsApp group. That
I have a question also.
yeah, definitely we are going to do that. And Abhimanyu Baloria has a question.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Rana. Hello, ma'am. It was a very nice presentation, and I really enjoyed it very thoroughly. It seemed as if some person from Google himself coming down to us and telling us everything how to use Google properly. Thank you so much for
Exactly.
enlightening us. Ma'am, I have two questions only. Number one is I'm not able to understand how we can use QR code generator in sharing the content because of the poor connectivity. I think I could not get it properly. And second question is about the reliability of the Google Translator. Is it like we can completely depend on Google Translator, because sometimes the cultural connotation may differ and create altogether different meaning. So could you please enlighten me on these two areas?
Yeah, sure, sir. Actually, as far as the QR code generator is concerned, there in the first tab you are having the text provision. Once you fix the text over there, automatically for that particular text, a QR code will get generated. So that QR code could be shared with your students. And once it is shared, automatically, whenever they are scanning it, they will get the text. This is what
Okay.
I
That
think.
we can make the QR code generator of a very long text also.
Yeah, bit long, but not to the maximum. For a
Yeah.
novel thing, you can't do it. It's for
Okay.
easy accessibility. Anyhow, it's just a innocent machine, right? So it is an app. To that extent, it can make use of. And if it is exceeding the limit, it won't generate even.
Yeah, I wanted to. Yes.
Okay. And the second question you asked for is
About the reliability of the Google Translator.
Google Translator. Actually, we tried. To the extent of 85%, we could rely on Google Translator, where whatever it may be, once after you get it generated as a translated content, you need to go through it once again, very word by word, unless otherwise, while you are submitting the abstract, it's very difficult, right? So, anyhow, it has to be. It has to be gone through each and every word, but you can rely on it for up to 85%, no doubt.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was wonderful listening to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rana.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Ma'am, I also have a very small query that this Google Translate, can it translate poetry or will there be some difficulty in the connotation of the poetic text? Is it able to translate it aptly?
Yes, ma'am. I observed in the sense you can translate it word by word. It translates word by word. It won't offer the content. In poetry, we have poetic license. And we have blank verse, alliterations, all those stuff. We can't expect that much of the same tendency when you are translating. You will get the translation, no doubt. And if you can make changes in that, well and good. But it will give the translation up to 85% of your expectation without fail. It will satisfy you without even disappoint.
Thank you. Thank you,
Well,
ma'am. And the chat box is full of praises. And I can see no more questions. Dr. Shubhra, are there any questions? Any more questions? It looks everybody is demanding for your PPT only.
I will share it with you.
Thank you, ma'am. Shubhra, shall we go for vote of thanks? Formal vote of thanks?
Yes, ma'am, you can, but I have a few information to be told. You can proceed for a vote of thanks, and after that, I will take over.
Okay.
Because we are left with feedback form, so I will take over for that.
Okay. So people must be eagerly waiting for the feedback form. So first of all, with the vote of thanks, I would like to say that well begun is half done. So we have begun well today. With this, I would like to thank Dr. Shivani Vishisht, the HOD of Department of English, Manav Rachna University, for coming up with this idea and collaborating with the Lavender Literary Club and Cape Comorin. I also thank Dr. Kavita Ganju, Dean, for her unflinching support to the department. I also thank our first presenter, Dr. Dushyant Nimawat, for his presentation on plagiarism, and he very well explained each and every nuances of plagiarism, and he answered all the queries really well. I also thank Dr. Regin, the commander of the ship, I would say, and a multitasker. Thank you very much for coming up with different programs almost every day. So thank Dr. Shubhra, equally competent. And I also thank Dr. Abhimanyu Gloria for your relevant questions. You asked many questions on my behalf. There were many queries in my mind. Thank you for your questions. And you got relevant answers as well. Very, very
Yes,
well
ma'am.
explained. Like Dushyant sir also said that, you know, original writing should be promoted right from the beginning. Suddenly, we should not expect that the student comes to PhD and suddenly he starts writing creative content and right from the beginning, from nursery to up to college, the teacher dictates and suddenly the student is asked. So definitely it's difficult. So right from the beginning, it should be done. And this is the main takeaway of this program today. And Dr. C. Ganga Lakshmi, thank you. Everything is on your tips. You are a pro, I would say, in each and everything, and we'll keep on calling you.
Thank you for providing the opportunity.
Thank you very much.
The most beautiful thing. I love it. Thanks, ma'am, especially.
Yeah, it shows when you present. You know, thank you very much.
Sir was so convenient.
Definitely. And I also thank all the participants, the main stakeholders in this program, for their patient hearing and for their participation. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Shubhra Jambal.